YouTube fans, here again, and I thought I'd talk about some more movies and more things on the way. Why not? Why not? So let's start without ado. This one, Masters of the Universe, the movie that is. Now, I grew up that, but as a kid, I remember watching in 1983 the classic cartoon series. You know, He-Man, He-Man. And I used to love watching Masters of the Universe when I was a kid. And yeah, I do admit, being a big kid, I had a big trust on She-Ra when I was a kid and all. So at the time, I was half and half because I grew up watching He-Man, then making a movie of it in 1987. And why not? It goes to the 87 Action Marathon. I was half and half and making a movie. But then when I found out he was going to star as He-Man, it was going to be no more, no less than Dolph Lundgren. Now, I want to people a history lesson. Why not? Why not? When Dolph Lundgren was starting out, as we all know, he started out as an actor in, I remember doing the 85 marathon of action films, that being A View to a Kill. And I forgot to say that when I was talking about A View to a Kill. Dolph Lundgren appeared as an actor, believe it or not, in a small little role. He played like a Daisy B sort of mind, or working for the, you remember the character called Genu Gogo. There's a bit in it where Mayday picks up this guy, folds him on the floor, and you've got a miner with a gun out like that pointing at Mayday, which I find is funny because Dolph Lundgren at the time was dating Jace Jones, so I thought it was like funny. And I think rightly Jace Jones put a good word in to Albert R. Butler to have him in a small little role, and that was View to a Kill. And then the same day, we all remember him playing Garnoff in the Tacit Rocky 4. Tacit scene where he played the Russian boxer in Rocky 4 as Dago. That's his name. I was fuck with speaking his name in that character's role. But Gago, Dargo, I get it right, offense there, Dargo, the Russian boxer, he had the biggest career of his life being a villain in Rocky 4. I think because of that, he also in 86 did an exercise video, how to get muscles and all that. So, happy to say, decided it would be ideal to play the role of He-Man. So, but the only mistake was it was Tannen. It would have been another trumpeter to take the rings of doing Masters of the Universe. It would have been a bit of budget film. It would have been a bit of budget film, and I'm going to get into why. Because at the time, Tannen he was getting all excited, thinking there's going to be a fifth Superman film, getting all excited, thinking it'll be like fucking Hollywood and make big budget films. And Tannen was already getting the hopes up of making the Masters of the Universe 2. Never got to be, and it's sad. It is a bloody shame. This film bombed, and it bombed big time because of fucking the company Tannen. And it had been done by another company who was more competent, weren't cheaping out here, there, and there, thinking they're going to go Hollywood, thinking they're going to be the next Paramount, the next Water Buffers, the next Sensitive Thoughts, all these big movie companies. It was another company. I think Masters of the Universe would have stood more of a chance. It doesn't mean I hate it. People are more thinking it's not as faithful to the cartoon. But what it is faithful of is the comic books. People forget, right, when they grew up watching the cartoon series. People forget, before the cartoon, there was actually a comic book of Masters of the Universe, that was more for the mature audience, all made for little kids. Let's get on with the bladding film. So you get the classic theme tune. Before you get that, you get a monologue, you get somebody talking about Masters of the Universe and the powers of space style and so on. But I love the opening. I love the fact you see Dolph Lundgren, big raping muscles, fighting these flipping robotic things. I just wish it was more in his own planet, like the cartoon. And then if you're going to put him in, let's say, New York, and in what would have been the modern times, or in our era, not in this space tropical universe, if this was Big Besace, then go for that one in the second Masters of the Universe. I want to see him in his own planet, down and dirty, killing androids and fighting Skeletor and so on. I want the backdown story of how Adam turns to He-Man, because you never even got that in the first cartoon series. Because when you think about it, He-Man was sort of like a warrior version of Superman. Then we get on with that one. As we all know, Tannen, same there, was done to do Superman 4. And they took a big chunk out of the money out of Superman 4 to make Masters of the Universe. And that is why the film is so cheap in Superman 4 I'm on about. Like the scene where Christopher Reid is fighting about and you see the same film all the way through the bloody film. You can make a drinking game out of it, and that's because it was dirt cheap making this film. And don't get me wrong, I think Masters of the Universe is a better film. But in all fairness, and I remember talking about this and all in '82, they already did Masters of the Universe, the movie. They already did it. You know what it's called? It starred Mike Singer, died from V. You know what it's called? It was called The Beastmaster. Think about it. Big raping muscles, a panther. You could call that Battlejack if you wanted. That's bloody He-Man. To me, I felt The Beastmaster was more He-Man than the movie what we had. Because you've got it anyway. Get back to start up. You've got it. And he's in a panic and he's saving the sorcerer, who for some reason ordered some old bidder. Not all like sexy like the one in the cartoon series, with that weird fucking heart thing on his head. And Mike Fantesto, I can remember his name right, Mike Fanteno, who we all remember being Dracula in the classic 1979 Dracula. I do admit, he does do a good performance as Stellator. Isn't acting like the one in the cartoon series. He does do a good performance as Stellator. You got Evil Lynn. And I think the actress who's been out a lot of things, she really does play a good Evil Lynn. She really is just exactly like the one in the cartoon series. Dead evil, can change the form, just like in the cartoon series. I do like the evil, I can't remember his name now, the Beast. He's more vicious in this than what he is in the cartoon series. He's attacking people, he's throwing people about. So yeah, I do admit that there are some good potential in it. And I do okay, I do like that he goes into our universe and he's going after this magical thing. Has these beautiful lights that fly about, and he's there to save it. Right, he's there to save it. You get one actress you might remember in the series Friends. It's also appeared in Steam. She also appeared in a music video 2 years before this in Can't Stand the Fire. We hadn't won on that one. It's one with Bruce Springsteen. He appeared in a music video. I think it was Start the Fire at the end where he's dancing about on stage with her. She's in this. So she's basically lost her mum and dad, her character. And Stellator's trying to get this magical thing. He's in New York. I do like the bit where Dolph Lundgren as He-Man is on this flying surfboard. I think that's pretty cool. It's funny enough. When he got to 1990, I think it was 99 or 91, sort of copied that a little bit in Iron to 2, the quickening. But I do like the bit he's on that surfboard and he's slicing and dicing. So there are some bits what just have a good potential, but then there's bits in it where you can see might have to be thinking Tannen. And like I say, he saves the day. You do get a typical tipped ending if you've watched all the way through the end, where Stellator's face comes out with this thing that looks like a fucking tattoos there. And he says, "I'll be back," like Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger. And it never got to be. Sad to say, the film didn't make it that big. And they always had a go at Dolph Lundgren. They shit on Dolph Lundgren. They pooed on Dolph Lundgren. And you know what? I'm going to offend the man's honour. Because Dolph Lundgren is not the problem. I do wish he was a bit more like the cartoon series, where he come out with stitchy liners, like in the cartoon series did. That's the only issue. But still, Dolph Lundgren is not the problem. He's just doing the best performance going. It's just that Tannen barely did him anything to do. No, I would just love to see a backdown story of Adam and how he became Superman, how he became freaking He-Man. But you don't see Adam in it. You don't see Battlejack in it. You get this wizard thing because you couldn't have the money to get Warlock, that fucking thing that flew in the air and did magical powers in the cartoon series. Awful, that's his name. No, there was a backdown story like that would have been more interesting in my eyes. And sadly to say, the sequel never got to be. So that silly old ending with Fancy Terror when he falls to his doom and he comes back out with this thick feeling like a Tatooza. He says a line, "I'll be back." Never fucking happened. Never happened because it never made big. It bombed big time. It very big. It was very successful. One theatre. I remember renting it on the Golden Days of Video. Loved it. But it never got to be, and they was planning when they was going to do a second Masters of the Universe. They were going to fuck Dolph Lundgren off. Tannen, I'm not making this up, was going to get rid of Dolph Lundgren, thinking he was the problem. We're going to have some surfer dude. Hey, dude, you know, a guy goes surfing. So you got a guy who probably could not act to save Diggity D, just there because he looks pretty. Pay He-Man. And that Dolph Lundgren was making it bid. Thank God Tannen went out of business. Thank God. But yeah, I still like Masters of the Universe. I can watch it as a time waster. I'm more of a lover of the cartoon series, but I still respect Masters of the Universe. I don't think Dolph Lundgren was the weak part in it. I think he played a good He-Man. I like Frank Federo. I think he played a good Stellator. What can I say? Masters of the Universe. See you later.